Back here at Chicago 2016. We are here with Romeo from DJI. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
It's a great show. You having fun? You having a good time?
It's beautiful. Great people, but boy, it's hot.
I have not been outside. I just heard someone else say that.
Yes.
It's hot outside. It was cold originally, so.
It was really hot. We did drone flying this morning, and it was hot.
Yep, it was supposed to get hot. I've been in here the whole time, so I've been air conditioned. I'm not cold, so that's good. So cool. So you are with DJI, which is a producer and distributor of drones, correct?
Correct. So we design, manufacture, build the drones that we now see more and more up in the sky.
Excellent.
With different platforms. Everything started out with the idea of doing aerial photography and aerial videography to get that different perspective.
Yeah.
And now it has just exploded into so much more.
I agree, and you guys are actually building the cameras and everything as well. You're putting the cameras right on them, and you don't have to go get a GoPro now. It comes all complete.
Correct, so it's integrated. We wanted to have something that's integrated, that's easy to be used.
Yep.
And this way, you can integrate it with the software package and see live what the camera 50 feet or 100 feet above sees.
Excellent.
So that's quite exciting.
Excellent. So we were chatting a little bit before, and you were telling me of some of the cool things you're doing. So you're in charge of education there.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about that with what you do on the education side of helping new pilots learn how to use these?
Absolutely. So we realized that education has to be an important part of this new technology because we want to make sure people use the technology safely and responsibly.
Yeah.
So we want to educate the new pilot how to fly, how to safely fly, where not to fly.
Yep.
And we have lots of events all over the world, new pilot experiences they're called. And so people can go for free and just learn how the technology works and have fun with it.
So it's totally free?
Totally free.
And they're in person, or is it online, or both?
In person. So we work with our vendor network, with our dealers.
Great.
And so we are able to do over 400 events last year, and we're going to do as many, if not more, this year.
Very cool. I love that. Awesome. Because there is we talked about a lot of things happening. There's stupid people everywhere, and some of them have drones. And and the more education you can get to make sure people don't have accidents or hurt other people, I think is a good thing.
That's true. We always say it's probably about 99.5% of the people that do it safely, responsibly, and then there's a small percentage, less than 1% in fact, that either they don't know what the rules are or they just don't care. And we want to reach those people and make sure everybody is safe.
You got to get on a news station. The news stations know how to find them.
That's true. That's true.
The news station's like, yes, that one person out of everyone that has drones, they messed up. We're going to go find them.
That's true.
So you were telling me a little bit about some cool stuff that you're doing with like investigations and stuff like that with we were talking about Abby, who does stuff with CSI and other investigation, but you had another side of law enforcement that you're working with as well? So
what we decided last year, I realized that first responders are more and more using our technology for firefighting, for search and rescue, but it wasn't really integrated. And so this year, DJI and the European Emergency Number Association teamed up to learn what are the needs of first responders.
Very cool.
Because firefighters would use a drone very differently than search and rescue people. So now we're learning, we're trying to adapt the hardware as well as the software to help those communities with that aerial view. And it's quite fascinating.
So interestingly enough, I was on rescue and ambulance when I was in high school, and then I joined the fire department. So one of the tools we had and we would use is to be able to see where the fire was in the house. So we had thermal cameras to be able to, and they were new when I was on it years ago. So now it's probably every department has them. But you'd be able to actually see in the roof in the house and the walls if there was a fire. Exactly. Is that something that you've either integrated already or can integrate and put in the air and see if there's something in an apartment building or something like that?
Absolutely, Nick. So on our Inspire One platform, we have exchangeable cameras. And we have a camera that we partnered up with Flare. And so now you can get that aerial overview over a house fire, for example, and you can see where the hot spots are. Yeah. And that is so helpful to firefighters.
It goes up the wall and goes to the roof a lot of times, and you need to know, like, I'll cut the roof here and put it out, or the whole house burns down.
Exactly. So. Or what we're also seeing is firefighters, they use it, they go up to the window, the smoke comes out of the window, and they look from the outside in just to get a first glance to see, are there people still inside?
Yeah.
So then they can already make a determination, go into that room, don't go into that room.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing.
Excellent, excellent. I haven't even heard of any of these before we started talking, so some really cool stuff. So where can people find out more about DJI and your products and education?
Absolutely. So DJI is DJI.com. We're on all the big social media outlets. On the education is DJI University.
Okay.
I'm going to revamp that website. I want to put more content up there. I want to reach out more academia, educators, students, and researchers, because our platforms are open for the SDK. So we see people writing apps that work on the drone. There's a really cool app, for example, that does panoramas for you. So you just say how many images you want, and the drone then will autonomously yaw and take the images and then stitch them together.
And that's what you're doing a lot of, right? You're doing a lot of aerial panoramas?
I love doing aerial panoramas, and I love doing aerial long exposure images.
And they're stable enough, it seems like, to be able to do that.
Remember when we were taught how to do long exposure, it was like, don't even think about touching the camera. Get one of those remotes.
Yep.
And now we're having them in the air doing 4, 5, 8-second exposures.
Amazing, amazing.
So much fun.
Cool. So we told them where they can find out about DJI. Where can they find out more about you?
So I'm on Twitter, Romeo CH. Visual Aerial is my Instagram.
Okay.
And visual-aerial.com is my website.
Cool.
And I try to share information, how to make panoramas, how to do long exposures, because I want the community to get excited and do it themselves too.
It's cool stuff. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
So awesome. Well, thank you for coming out. And you have more photo walks or classes going on?
Yes, another one tomorrow.
Okay.
It will be hopefully not as hot.
I will be in here, and I'm teaching tomorrow night too,
Nice.
so I'm going to stay cool most of the time. I'll be out after dark, after it gets a little bit cooler.
You know how to do it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me, and have fun out there.
We will. You too. Thank you, Nate.